So, in case of electrocardiography or ECG, this is a technique used by doctors for measuring the electrical activity of your heart. Here you can see the most of the idea you will get from this picture itself. There will be an instrument like this, and that instrument will be having some electrodes are there, and these electrodes will be connected with the different parts of your body, your chest, hands, legs, etc. And what these electrodes are basically doing is that there will be a period, there will be 12 electrodes, and these 12 electrodes will be placed on the surface of your body, chest and arms as well as your legs, and they will be collecting very weak electricity produced by your body. Our body is producing some electricity, but we don't feel it because it's a very weak signal. But using a very high sensitive devices, we will be able to detect this electricity, and what we are doing is that we will be amplifying it. Using these instruments, we will be amplifying it, and there will be a recorder also, and recorder will be producing a pattern on a graph paper, and that pattern is what we call by the name ECG tracing, or simply electrocardiogram. So in the case of electrocardiogram, this is how normally we are getting a picture. So it is typically known as a PQRST. So electrocardiogram, you will be showing a PQRST curve. So what is the significance of this PQRST curve? Basically, for a doctor or also for a trained person, if you are looking at this PQRST, you will be getting a lot of idea regarding that. Here you can see that. So in the case of PQRST, the first portion, that is P wave. The P wave we start here is referring to atrial depolarization. Atrial means auricle. Depolarization it can consider as a contraction. When a contraction of auricle is taking place, this first wave will be produced. So this first wave is produced when auricles are depolarized or auricles are undergoing contraction. Then when the second wave is known as QRS, in case of QRS, it is ventricular depolarization. And the third wave is ventricular repolarization. So there are three basic waves. So QRS means that happens during the contraction of the ventricle, and T wave is happening during the relaxation of the ventricle. So there are three basic waves are the PQRST, even though we are telling like that. So suppose a person is having QRS wave very perfectly, no problem. The height of the QRS wave is up to this much. But we are not showing, he is not showing any P wave. The P wave is flat. Instead of having a rise like this, there is no rise here. So what is the meaning of that? His auricle is not contracting properly. That is the message that we can take from by looking at the PQRS wave. The QRS and P wave are all working, showing normal pattern, but P wave is flat. It means the auricles are not working efficiently. That is why P wave is. So something is blocking the working of auricle. So that is how doctors are detecting whether the heart is working. If the heart is working perfectly, all the waves are like this. But if any wave, for example, if T wave is not showing properly, that means ventricle is contracting, but ventricle is not having complete relaxation. So that is the problem message, or that is the idea that we will be getting when T wave is smaller. So this is the importance of electrocardiography. It's a very cheap technique, very non-invasive technique. We are not subject to any kind of surgery or any kind of needle or something. We are only using this kind of electrodes, and electrodes will be collecting electricity, and this instrument will be maximizing or amplifying the electrical current many times. Then it will be recorded on a paper, and that is known as a ECG. And this will be giving you an electrocardiogram. Advantage of electrocardiogram is that it's a very simple method. At the same time, it's a very life-saving method also. If, for example, if a person is having any kind of a heart problem, this ECG will be different. So ECG of the person will be conveying too many information. It is yeah, it is used to measure the rate and rhythm of the heart. That is one thing that we will be getting. Second message is that regarding the position of the heart chamber. Here you can see that this is the position of the heart chamber. If something is wrong with the positioning of the heart chamber, that will be reflected in ECG. Then the presence of any damage to muscle cell or conduction system. Here you can see that. Normally heart has two natural pacemakers. This is one pacemaker which we call sinoatrial node. This is another pacemaker. Normally what is happening is that this is the most powerful pacemaker. It is like a battery. It is producing a small current. That current will be causing the contraction of auricle. Then that current will be detected by this battery, that is AV node. That battery will also produce and also retransmit this current and along this route. And this group of wires are known by the name Purkinje system or bundle of His. And these wires are known as Purkinje system or bundle of His. Then what they cause is that they will cause the contraction of the ventricle. So the ventricle will also contract. Sometimes what happens is that both this natural pacemaker may not be working. It may be working, but its efficiency may be decreased. Now doctors have an external device known as a pacemaker or artificial pacemaker that will be placed and inserted into the heart and will be kept somewhere here, and there will be battery there, and this battery will be producing a small electricity every second or every a certain duration of time. So it is a automatically controlled chip based device. So it is producing electricity. So every time electricity is coming, the auricle will be contracting and followed by ventricular contraction. So a pacemaker will be given to those patients who have who doesn't have this kind of proper functioning of their natural pacemaker. Natural pacemaker is responsible for this contraction and relaxation of that. So this is the significance of that. This kind of problem can be detected and very easily controlled by measuring the ECG of the person. Then we have cardiac drive, how the cardiac medicines are affecting the person, whether after intake of the drugs, after intake the heart related medicines, whether the patient is having any improvement. That can be also monitored by using this kind of technique known by the name ECG. Then also the working of the pacemaker, whether pacemaker is producing the right kind of electrical conduction in the heart, that can be also measured. So this is an idea regarding how the electricity, how the natural electricity produced by your body can be used to measure and monitor the working of your body as well as the working of your heart. So this is what I can tell about you about the electrocardiogram as well as electrocardiogram. The system is known as electrocardiography, and this written output is known as electrocardiogram. Okay. So this is the importance of electrocardiogram also you mentioned here. What are the uses of ECG? So that's the end of the ECG, and we stop here.